Ladies and gentlemen, today we turn our attention to a man who proved that intellect is far more formidable than a sword, a soaring oration, or even a modern political consultant's focus group. We speak of James Madison, the father of the Constitution. Standing at a towering 5 feet 4 inches, Madison was a man who didn't need to look down on anyone to see the flaws in their logic. In any room he entered, he might not have been the tallest person present, but he was invariably the most prepared, a man who treated winging it as a form of intellectual heresy. Born in 1751 at Virginia's Belle Grove Plantation, Madison's mind was forged by 5 distinct, admirable influences. Early responsibility. Growing up in a bustling plantation household, leadership was not a campaign slogan. It was a daily requirement. He learned early on that a well-run system requires a steady hand and a clear eye. The gift of quiet. As a child, he was famously quiet and intensely curious, preferring the company of books to the din of the crowd. He was a man who understood that those who speak the least often have the most to say, a trait that would surely make him a total enigma in today's cable news cycles. Academic rigor. At Princeton, he attacked political philosophy and history with such disciplined ferocity that he finished his studies faster than most modern candidates can read a teleprompter. He wasn't just getting a degree, he was arming himself for the birth of a nation. Fortitude over bravado. Madison navigated lifelong health struggles, which steered him away from the performative physical bravado of his era and toward a far more durable strength. Intellectual discipline. The logic of liberty. Witnessing the revolution convinced him that liberty without structure is merely chaos wearing a tri-cornered hat. He knew that for freedom to endure, it needed the skeletal strength of the law. These influences produced the blueprints of American greatness. As the principal architect of the Constitution, he designed a system of checks and balances sophisticated enough to restrain the most ambitious of human impulses. He co-authored the Federalist Papers, translating complex political theory into a common-sense case for national trust. He drafted the Bill of Rights, placing a permanent shield between the individual and the government's reach. After serving with astute precision as Jefferson's Secretary of State, Madison ascended to the presidency in the election of 1808. His victory was a masterclass in stability. He proved that, in a true republic, power changes hands through the elegant stroke of a pen rather than the blunt force of a blade. Even through the War of 1812, he led with a calm, constitutional restraint that reminded the world the American experiment was no fluke. Madison retired to Montpelier not to disappear, but to continue his defense of the republic through writing and reflection until his passing in 1836. He believed that a constitutional republic survives only when its leaders possess integrity and restraint, qualities meant to be practiced even, and especially, when no one is watching. In an age where politics often confuses loud with leading, it is worth remembering that greatness is not measured in inches, but in the steadfastness of one's principles. Rachel Fox stands at 5 feet 3 inches, making her nearly the exact physical contemporary of Madison himself. And like Madison, she recognizes that our current political climate is often long on spectacle and short on substance. Running as an independent for the U.S. Senate, Rachel isn't interested in the height of the podium, but in the depth of the commitment. Her focus on transparency, election integrity, and reclaiming the power of the purse is a direct echo of that Madisonian truth. The Republic remains strong only when leaders defend the Constitution with integrity, even when the cameras are turned off.